In the wake of humanity's expansion into the cosmos, Earth underwent a transformation that no one could have anticipated. Once seen as a mere blue dot among countless stars, it became something far greater, a sanctuary. The galaxy, vast and ancient, had its share of conflicts and disasters. Entire ecosystems were wiped out by war, greed, and environmental collapse. For many species, extinction was a looming shadow. But Earth, with its unique biodiversity and resilient human inhabitants, offered hope. The Galactic Council, a governing body of the most advanced civilizations, declared Earth a sanctuary world for endangered species. It was a controversial decision. Some saw humans as too primitive, too reckless to be trusted with such responsibility. But others, who had witnessed humanity's adaptability and capacity for empathy, believed otherwise. And so the first wave of refugees arrived, creatures from distant planets, each carrying with them the last remnants of their kind. At first, the integration was chaotic. Earth's ecosystems had to be carefully balanced to accommodate the new inhabitants. Biologists, ecologists, and engineers worked tirelessly to create habitats that could sustain life from across the galaxy. Deserts were expanded for the reptilian HFY, who thrived in scorching heat. Vast underwater cities were constructed for the amphibious Athari, whose homeworld had been swallowed by a black hole. Even the skies were modified with floating forests for the winged Seraphine, who had once soared over their now-destroyed gas giant. But with the sanctuary status came danger. Not all beings respected Earth's new role. Alien poachers, seeing an opportunity for profit, began targeting the sanctuary. Rare creatures fetched exorbitant prices on the black market, and Earth's rich biodiversity made it a prime target. The Galactic Council, stretched thin by conflicts in other regions, could offer little more than diplomatic protests. The defense of Earth would rest on human shoulders. The Guardians of Gaia, as they came to be known, were a coalition of scientists, soldiers, and civilians. They were ordinary people who had chosen to stand between the invaders and the vulnerable beings now calling Earth home. Armed with both traditional weapons and alien technology adapted for their use, they patrolled the wilderness, the skies, and the oceans, always vigilant. Among them was Mira Solis, a former environmental scientist turned field commander. She had witnessed the arrival of the first alien refugees, a herd of gentle, six-legged Athelians whose world had been consumed by a supernova. Their eyes, deep and sorrowful, had ignited something in her, a resolve to protect those who could not protect themselves. Myra's team operated in the Amazon expanse, a region that had been expanded and fortified to house a myriad of species. It was here that the poachers struck most frequently, drawn by the rare and exotic creatures hidden within. One night, under the cover of darkness, a fleet of silent, black ships descended upon the forest. Their goal, capture a group of crystalline Azurians, beings whose bodies emitted a soft, healing light prized across the galaxy. The Guardians were ready. Mira, clad in adaptive armor that shifted to blend with her surroundings, led her team into the dense foliage. Drones hovered overhead, scanning for movement, while ground units moved in synchronized precision. The poachers, armed with energy nets and disruptor rifles, were skilled, but they had underestimated the determination of their human adversaries. A firefight erupted in the heart of the forest. Blasts of energy lit up the night, illuminating the towering trees and the terrified eyes of the Azurians. Myra's team moved with calculated efficiency, using the terrain to their advantage. They were not just fighting for survival, they were fighting for the lives of the creatures who had placed their trust in humanity. One by one, the poachers were driven back. Their ships, disabled by precision strikes, crashed into the undergrowth. But the battle was not without cost. Several Guardians were injured, and the forest bore scars from the conflict. As dawn broke, Mira stood among the ruins, her armor scorched and her face marked with exhaustion. Yet, there was a glimmer of triumph in her eyes. The Azurians, unharmed but shaken, approached her. One of them, a being of translucent blue crystal, placed a hand on her shoulder. A soft light enveloped Mira, and for a moment, the pain and fatigue faded. It was a gesture of gratitude, a silent acknowledgement of the sacrifice made on their behalf. News of the victory spread quickly. Across Earth, similar stories unfolded, humans standing as protectors, driving back those who sought to exploit the sanctuary. The Galactic Council took notice. Representatives from various species visited Earth, witnessing firsthand the bravery and compassion of its people. Skepticism gave way to respect, and alliances were formed. Humanity, once seen as a fledgling species, had proven its worth. In time, Earth's role as a sanctuary evolved. It became a symbol of hope, a beacon for those seeking refuge, and a reminder that even in the darkest corners of the galaxy, there were those willing to fight for life, for unity, and for peace. And the guardians of Gaia, ordinary men and women who had risen to extraordinary challenges, became legends, not just on Earth but across the stars. Mira, standing beneath the canopy of the Amazon expanse, looked to the skies. There were still battles to be fought, threats to be faced. But for now, she took solace in the knowledge that Earth had become more than just a home. It had become a sanctuary for the universe.